Welcome to the Windy City Rundown. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another great episode of Windy City Rundown. I am Eric Avila, and yes, I am alone, which is okay. It's all good. I got this down packed. Besides, it's a wonderful day and a wonderful opportunity for you guys to join me live on the show. The link is in the comment section, guys. Join us. Excuse me. Join us for another episode as we talk about the Chicago Bears. Their other win 4 games in a row, 4-2, beating the Saints over the weekend on Sunday, heading into a very complicated game on Sunday against the Ravens. We're going to get into that too as well. A lot to get into, a lot to talk about. But let's get right to it, guys. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the Bears on Sunday defeated the New Orleans Saints 26-14 in a very, how should I phrase this? In a very complex game. I think complex is a very good word for me to say that right now, simply because of the situation that the Bears put themselves in. It looked ugly, yes. They didn't look good, no. But also at the same time, they ended up winning the game. And I think this is the type of the game. This is these type of games where we just look at ourselves and we just say, you know what? Rather win it than be on the losing side of it. Because if we would have lost and with the game that we had, I think we would have probably had a whole different perspective of the game and probably went into a negative mindset for the game on Sunday against the Ravens. But like I said, this is the type of game that you just want to be on that right side and just, getting the dubs, getting some wins off here. So that's all that makes sense. You can see the stat lines. It wasn't not a lot of positive side from the offensive side, other than the running game was fantastic. You get another rushing 100 rushing yards for Swift. Common guy also got himself another touchdown as well, his first touchdown of his NFL career. But all of that, nothing but field goals for Moody. Moody was excellent again. And honestly, the story of the day, too, was the defense. The defense shined on a gloomy day on Sunday. And yes, the defense, in this 4-game winning streak, the defense has been carrying the Chicago Bears. Let's be quite honest. They literally showed up and has showed out these last 4 games against whatever class of opponents you want to say. The Cowboys, the Saints, who else do we have in between that time? Cowboys, Saints, the Commanders, and the Raiders, right? Those are the 4 games that the Bears have played and have won so far this season. And the defense has shown out. We saw a stat that I'm going to put up right now. Obviously, defense on Sunday. Let's talk about that first. 3 defensive sacks, 3 interception, a fumble recovery there they put down too as well. I mean, they were all over the place. You could tell that Brisker and Gordon were highly missed. Montez Sweat got a sack in there too as well. There was a lot of different things that the Chicago Bears showed on Sunday with Brisker and Gordon being together for the first time this season. And it looked like it was a very complimentary defense where Dennis Allen just did what he needed to do. And honestly, it just showed out. And it just showed up on the football. Edwards with another interception too as well to add to it. Great defensive performance. And honestly, it just posed a question like, I forgot to put it down here too as well, but I'm going to post it right now. And honestly, the question of the night is, who are the Chicago Bears? What is the Chicago Bears? Are the Chicago Bears good? Are the Chicago Bears lucky? The only reason why I say that, right, and I'm putting it down here, and the guys, like I said, join us on our episode today. Windy City Rundown. The link is in the comment section, so just join us. But like I said, who are the Chicago Bears? And that's a good question, and I think we have had mixed emotions, especially the game coming off on Sunday, to where we're just here and just trying to understand, what does this look like? Like, are the Chicago Bears his offensive team? Are the Chicago Bears his defensive team? The ones that running team too as well? Like, it is a question that I think everybody's asking because like you had games where the offense kind of carried the defense, even though the defense wasn't that great, right? But then if you look in the last couple games and like the offense has been kind of going on a downward slope, but the Bears defense are inclining to where they're winning the games. They're helping the Bears win these games. They're getting these defensive stops. They're getting these defensive numbers to where they're getting the interceptions. They're getting the sacks. They're getting the forced fumbles. They're turning over the ball. And I'm right here. The Bears defense last 4 games, 8 interceptions, 10 sacks, 19 points per game. Two, for some reason, the 24s and the 14, the last 4 games are literally the Bears numbers, right? It's weird, but the Chicago Bears literally have not given up 100-yard wide receiving, 100 yards receiving to any wide receiver in the last 4 games. Take that for whatever you want to take, but it seems like I don't want to compare this team to the 2018 Bears, but it's starting to look something similar to where like the defense is carrying the Chicago Bears into this winning streak. The defense is carrying the Chicago Bears at their best moment, at their best time. They're literally carrying the Chicago Bears to these victories, and the offense is just there. Granted, take that however you want to take it. I'm not saying that Mitch and Caleb are in the same boat, but no. What I'm saying is, like, it's defense and the run game for the Chicago Bears, and it's not supposed to be like that, right? We need this offensive team to step up. We need this offense. We need this quarterback to play a little better, right? That's all we ask for. Is he going to have good games? 100%. Is he going to have bad games? 100%. But right now, are the Bears just that good, or are they just getting lucky? And that has been the topic of conversation because the Bears could only beat the team that's in front of them. That's it. That's what the schedule says. That's who the Bears are playing, and that's who they have to face up against. And they're coming up with W's. They're not pretty. They're not beautiful. They're not a masterpiece. It's not a masterclass. It's not none of those. It's not. It's ugly. It's grinding. It's blood, sweat, and tears. It is just plain pitiful, disgusting. But yet we're coming up with victories. However you want to see it. The point is that the Bears are getting the W's, the Bears are getting the wins, and that is just what we ask for. But does that make a mark of a good team? With all these question marks, does that mark a good team? Because we thought coming into the season with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, number 1 draft pick overall last year, these offensive weapons that they got from Colston Loveland to Rome Odunze, DJ Moore that were here last year, upgrading on the offensive line. Like, it should have been a lot more better. It should have been a lot more smoother. We've only seen that, maybe 2 out of the last 6 games by in between there, but 2 out of the last 6 games we saw the offense what it's supposed to look like instead of what it is. It's a very complicated and a very complex situation for the Chicago Bears simply because, like, we expected one thing and we're not getting it. And that's where it sucks. That's where it's just the confusing part about it. So, like I said, are the Bears good? Are the Bears bad? Are they lucky? Like, who are the Chicago Bears? Guys, join us on our Facebook page. Like right here, Jose, he said, what are you wearing? It's the Champions League Arsenal training kit is what I'm wearing today. It's nice. It's comfortable. It's sweet. It is literally what the players wear for practice. So that's what I'm wearing for today, since my boys played today in a very, 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 very dominant performance. A 4-0 victory over Atletico de Madrid. So I'm out here supporting it. It's nice. It's comfortable. I love it. It is dope. It is dope. But yeah, join like Jose did. Join us in the comment section. Like I said, the link is in the stream. If you want to, in the comment section, if you want to join us, join me on today's show. I'm writing this show solo, dolo. Help out, help support, and always like, share, subscribe. All our episodes on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms too as well. Hit the little bell on our YouTube page. Hit the little bell on our Facebook page just to get notified when we're live, when our shows are live, when we're going on for you. Just always do that for us, guys. And as always, share all our episodes. Spread out the good word for us as we talk about Chicago sports. Right now, it's the Chicago Bears. Jose in the comments says, we got a head coach and still questionable on the quarterback. 100%. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's legit nothing wrong with questioning our quarterback right now at the moment. However you want to phrase it, right? If you want to say this is Caleb's second year in the NFL, this is Caleb's first year, quote unquote, with the new head coach in the NFL, where he's learning how to be an NFL quarterback, where he's learning a new playbook, he's learning the new plays, new people around him, different, same weapons, different just verbiage, however you want to say. And that's good. I think the head coach that we have is capable of taking us to the next level, whatever the next level is. Whatever the next level is. It could be taking us to the NFL playoffs consistently, being a consistently good team. I don't want to say Super Bowl, but maybe even taking us up that far, right? But Jose is right. We have a head coach, questionable on still the quarterback, but the thing is, like, the quarterback is still young enough, I guess you can say, still young enough to learn the process, still young enough to take us to wherever we need to be taken to, right? Because it hasn't looked right when the Bears are playing sort of well, where the Bears are getting victories, where the Bears are just showing us what the Bears are capable of doing. And it's just the same old Bears. Like, it's 2025, but we're playing like it's 2005. Good defense, turnovers, running game, quarterback sus. And it's okay to have that conversation because we expect a lot more from Caleb Williams. It's okay to be down on the offense simply because the quarterback is not getting the job done. It is okay to say these things out loud because it's a learning period. Ben Johnson is saying it. He's been saying it. It's linear. It's going to go up and down, left and right. You know, it's not going to be a straight arrow going up because that's not how you develop. You develop in the good moments, and you're definitely going to develop in the bad moments. But it's okay to have these conversations. Now, if you're going to be, oh no, he's a bust, he sucks, this is that you're not football intelligent. You're not ready. You're just seeing because you already came in with a narrative, and you're not seeing the process. And you're not seeing you're not seeing the process and the progress from our NFL quarterback. Jose in the comments also said, what worries me is everyone has gotten better since the first two losses, but the quarterback. And that's okay, and that's absolutely fine. You know, and you're absolutely right too. Like, we like I mentioned earlier, out of the 6 games, there's probably like 2 games where Caleb shows that he has the potential to be that quarterback to take us to the next level. Multiple drives, you know, from the Raiders game, even though it wasn't good, but he took us down for a field goal win. The Cowboys' performance was a great overall performance from Caleb Williams, just tossing the ball all over the place. You know, another drive to win the game against last week. Why am I blanking on who we played? So against the Raiders and against the Commanders, right? Like we've seen that. We've seen that this quarterback has his moments and has his genes where, you know, where it's clutch moments, right? But then you see the performances even during the win. It wasn't good against the Raiders. It wasn't good against the Commanders. And it definitely wasn't good on Sunday against the Saints, albeit whatever you want to say about the weather, but that shouldn't be an excuse. But it's part of the developmental program. It's part of developing into a quarterback that whatever he didn't have last year, he's getting it this year. And credit to Jose says right here, you know, he's not saying he can't get better, just saying why has he been the only one who hasn't developed in the system just yet? I think there's a multitude of reasons, right? I think he finally has a head coach who probably cares about his development, maybe, cares about the position a little bit more, maybe, you know, and just expects perfection. It expects greatness, right? He wants to push him to take it to the next level or to whatever that case may be, you know, from where it's either an all-pro quarterback, a Pro Bowl quarterback, a championship-winning quarterback, wherever Caleb's ceiling is, you know, he wants to get him there and probably overexceed that just a little bit more, what a coach should really do. But also at the same time, like, it's easier to fix trinkets here and there from other pieces on the offensive line. I mean, look, they benched Braxton Jones. They put in Theo Bennett. It has been looked great since the bye week. It's only been 2 games, but even then, so you could see that there's that upgrade there, right? Darnell Wright, you know, I think he finally got his shit together where, you know, he's actually performing there's no mental lapses, and Matt Eberflus. Oh my Jesus, Lord Christ. Woohoo. No more Matt Eberflus. Ben Johnson said he was going to take this evaluation all the way up to the bye week. We had the bye week a couple weeks ago, and he has made those changes, and it has looked better. It has looked great, right? The running back room, or DeAndre Swift, turn on the switch. It looks like the DeAndre Swift that was drafted by the Detroit Lions when he was coming out of Georgia, right? The offense, the running game has been looking great, and sometimes it's one of those things where it's like if it's not broken, don't fix it type of situations with the running game, right? It has been looking great, right? And I think that everybody has been saying, or the people that have known Ben Johnson says that it took Jared Goff a period amount of time to understand Ben Johnson's offensive scheme, offensive game plan, right? It took him, I think, over a year and a half, maybe 2 seasons to really fully grasp this offense. And he's mentioned it before, like the things that I'm doing here in Chicago with Caleb, I didn't do in Detroit, and we have to take his word for it because, like, we've only seen Ben Johnson twice, literally paid attention to Ben Johnson twice, in the last 3 years since he was the offensive coordinator, and damn near the last year for sure, like where we really focused on his offensive scheme and game plan. I mean, you could tell like there's something there. So we just have to take the word that whatever he's doing with Caleb Williams, and it's more complex and it's more complicated and it's more this and it's more that than what he did in Detroit, then let's just take his word for it. And it's going to take a while. If it took a Pro Bowl caliber not Super Bowl winner, but a quarterback that has taken a team to the Super Bowl in Jared Goff, and you're saying that it's more different, and or it took Goff a good amount of seasons or a season and a half for him to fully understand the offense, then we also got to give that same merit to Caleb Williams for him to really understand this offense, for him to really take off with this team and offensive game plan and offensive schemes. Like, we really have to be patient for it. Yes, we have a rookie contract, and yes, we really burned out a year, but fortunately for us, we have the 5th-year option for Caleb Williams where we could still kind of have him in that rookie salary. But at the same time, it feels like it's also a wasted potential year for Caleb Williams to grow and develop. This is literally his first year, quote unquote, first year of actually being coached by somebody who really cares and who really wants him to see progress, right? Yes, Jose, yes. Is it him or is it something else? Yes, I think that's what it is. Caleb Williams, because at the end of the day, it's him. It's up to Caleb to perform. It is up to Caleb to understand. It is up to Caleb to get it down on the field and just do what he needs to do and play the quarterback position, right? Is it something else too? 100%. It could also be Ben Johnson and his offense. It could also be, the different situations on the offensive line. I remember the Bears. The one thing about the Chicago Bears that's kind of really been pissing me off a little bit lately is the fact that how many offensive false starts and offensive pass interference, whether they're granted or not. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. The one thing about the Chicago Bears is that they're having those mental lapses, those mental faults of just not getting everything right from the play call, right? How many false starts have we heard from the Chicago Bears per game? Like a good 5 false starts from many different players, from the tight end to everybody else in between in the line, right? There's no delay of game penalties that we've been accustomed seeing for a Bears offense, which is great. We haven't, seen a very clean. Dalman last week got 2 false starts because he held on to the ball. One of the fumbles was his fault because he couldn't let go of the ball correctly, and then the other one, I don't know what the fuck happened. He just double clutched and whatever. Granted, it gave us 3 points. I'm not going to take away from that, but those 3 could have been 6. There's many opportunities that the Chicago Bears shoot themselves in the foot because instead of getting 6 points, we're getting 3 points because we're committing mental errors in these false starts. Jose goes, he said the refs they don't like Loveland for some odd reason. I don't know. I think they're out to get Colston Loveland because they probably have him in their fantasy football leagues. I mean, I really don't know. But yes, those questionable calls, yes, two offensive pass interference called on Colston Loveland for 2 weeks in a row that really wasn't offense pass interference. But I mean, again, but minus those two and then maybe another one here and there, it doesn't take away from the fact that the Chicago Bears are committing these mental errors and committing these false starts and going backwards, because those are killers. Those are killers. And unfortunately, we haven't really been hurt by those calls yet. But it's if we continue going down this path, it'll eventually, maybe hopefully not on Sunday, but it will eventually catch up to us to where these false starts are going to hurt us one way or another. It's going to hurt us because we couldn't convert a fourth and goal or a third and goal at the 2 or at the 1, and then we have a false start and we go back 5 yards and now we have to kick a field goal. Again, 6 points taken off. It'd be 3, cool if we make it, but those are an additional 3 points that are taken off the board for the Chicago Bears. I mean, I was just looking at the stats right before the show started, and then it hit me when I seen the stat line of the score box, and it said 3-17, 3-3, and I'm looking at him like, well, damn! Like we scored 2 rushing touchdowns, one from a young guy, one from DeAndre Swift, but everything else were all field goals. Like, oh shit, Moody. Again, I guess you could say MVP of the game, but yeah, like it just felt like those. Like you look at it, and for you to feel like that means that the Bears left points on the board, and it shouldn't be like that. One of those threes have to be 6s. One of those threes need to be in double digits because there's plenty of opportunities that the Chicago Bears put themselves offensively in this game plan to score more than just 3 points a quarter. I mean, again, they scored 21 points or more for a 6th straight game. The Chicago Bears offense can score points. The Chicago Bears offense can get you there. They just have to be more reliable, and they just really need to like pedal to the metal. They need to put this shit together and really, really put an offensive performance where, yes, we won semi-comfortably on Sunday, but it felt like it could have been more comfortable and we could have been more relaxed and just been like, okay, we got the W. We have nothing to worry about, but like we just need those. Like, yes, it's good to have these close games, but it's good even to have these games to where it's just like we're cool, we're calm, relaxed. The Bears are up by double digits. They got this game controlled. Jose said those penalties are going to catch up to us. Plus, the fact realistically we can't depend on the defense having so many turnovers and also going to catch up on us too. 100%, Jose. And you can't live by turnovers. You can't. And we're going to see on Sunday. I mean, Sunday, I think it's a perfect scenario where we're going to see the Chicago Bears. Can they force more turnovers? What happens if you have a quarterback that doesn't turn over the ball? Lamar Jackson is capable of doing that from here and there, but like we need to see the Chicago Bears. Okay, if you can't turn over the ball, what can the offense realistically do? Can the offense really carry us when the defense can't really turn over the ball? Can the offense get us down after a turnover, let's just say, and actually give us 6 points instead of 3, or instead of 3, or punting the ball away? Like, these are questions that we have for the Chicago Bears and for Ben Johnson, for Caleb Williams. Like, can you really help out this defense where we can really just say, hey, guys, we got your back. Thank you for having our back. We got your back too. Now let's put it together. I mean, I have it right here. Bears defense, last 8 games. Last 4 games, 8 interceptions, 10 sacks, 19 points per game, 14, 24, 24, and 14. No 100 yards receiver. Like, that says a lot. That definitely says a lot about the Chicago Bears and what they need to do. The capability of putting us into the next level, to take us to the next step into this progress, into this process of what Ben Johnson wants to do for the Chicago Bears. So, guys, the question of the night for you. Thank you guys for joining Jose on the comment section. For all you guys too as well, make sure you guys like and love all our posts on social media. Make sure you guys follow us on our social media. Make sure you also share our shows on Facebook and on YouTube. Guys, follow us. Hit the little bell to get notified when we are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. Question of the night: who are the Chicago Bears? Simple as that. I mean, we've seen the good offensive side of the Chicago Bears. We've seen the bad offensive side of the Chicago Bears. We've seen the bad side of the defense, and we've seen the good side of the defense, and we've been seeing the good side of the defense for the last 4 weeks. So realistically, like, who are the Chicago Bears? They say if you're a good team, you beat up on the bad teams. We beating up on the bad teams, but does that really make us good? We haven't had good offensive performance in the last 3 weeks. So I mean, it's just plain simple. Like, who are the Bears? Are the Bears a really good team? Are the Bears a lucky team? Are they just a bad team and they're just the results? Honestly, being lucky, they're just a bad team that are just getting the results at the end of the day. Like, who are the Bears? Tony, what's up, man? He says, sorry, I missed the Hooters. Was working out in Michigan. That's all good, man. There'll be a next time. I promise you. Yeah, and go Bears. 100%. 4-2, guys. The Bears are 4-2 after Sunday's win against the New Orleans Saints. But at the same time, it's like, are you confident? Are you comfortable where the Bears are at right now at the moment? It just like, who are the Bears? Like, what are the Bears? Are we going to see a transition of the Chicago Bears? Because it just feels like we're here, but like we're still here, or we're here, but it feels like this, right? We're here, but it feels like we're here, because like we're just missing that something. We're missing that something, and I don't know what it is. Jose, we're winning ugly, but hey, we are gritty. We fight. We don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Not yet. And I feel like that game is coming. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like that game is coming where we do shoot ourselves in the foot, where it's like everything's just going, and it's just everything is just flying, everything's just hitting, everything's this, everything that, and we're just making these mental mistakes. Tony says they're just an average team. Yeah, I mean, an average team, average good team, average bad team, a 4-2. Like, it shows a lot when, depending wherever you're gambling and you're on whatever gambling site, but when a team that's 1-5 faces a team that's 4-2, but the team that's 1-5 is favored by a touchdown, like, that says a lot about what kind of team you really are, or what they believe who you are. And that's exactly where the Chicago Bears are right now. He says Sunday will show who we are 100%. And I really do hope that, look, I don't care that if the Bears are in a shootout, right? But can the Bears actually compete in a shootout? Can the Bears be that team? Like, the Ravens defensive team, or defense side of the ball, horrendous. They're getting healthy. They're getting Roquan Smith. They're getting 2 other defensive players back. They're getting Lamar Jackson back on Sunday. So again, it's just we're just going to see, like, can the Bears go toe to toe to? I mean, they're right. They're one of the elite teams. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. Record-wise may not show, but with the person that they have, throwing the football, with the person that they have as head coach, who's won a Super Bowl, with the team that they have that could turn the game like this in a switch, like, it can show a lot more to where the Bears are with the elite of the NFL, of the AFC side, right? Where we at right here? There you go. Jose says, well, every team has that game, though, where they shoot themselves in the foot. 100%. 17 games in the NFL, you're bound to have 1, 2, or maybe even 5. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it just can't continue. Like, luck can't continue to go our way at this point. Like, we need something. We need some sustainability where, I know there's no such thing as a perfect game, but we need to minimize these mistakes. We need to minimize these mental mistakes that the Bears put themselves in these situations, to where we lose 5, 6, 7 points off that board, simply because, like, we're making these mistakes, these false starts. No delay of games. I'm great with that. I'm so used to an offense for the Chicago Bears, and wherever it is, that right after the huddle, delay a game because they couldn't get something out in time. At least the Chicago Bears have that, but it's just mentally they're just forgetting. He says, I'm saying we don't do that consistent to cost this game, right? Like the Jets. Nice dig on the Jets right there. No, but for sure, 100%. Like Tony said, Sunday we'll see what the Bears, who are the real Chicago Bears. Now, look, am I saying that the Bears are a 6.5 point underdog against the Ravens? No. But also at the same time, that number shows the true what people, the national people, what the bettors see in the Chicago Bears. And the Chicago Bears are just that team, an average team that we just don't know. They're 4-2 because A, they stumbled to being 4-2. B, they're good enough to be 4-2. Or C, they just got themselves in these situations to where they came out on the right side instead of the wrong side, 4-2, right? So, I mean, if I can have if I can have a performance of like Caleb Williams, 250, 260 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 or 3 touchdowns, and 1 or 2 interceptions, and the Bears lose by 3, but it's like a 29-33 type of game, cool. I'm right with that. At least I know that the Bears can't compete to that level against a good team, whether or not you think the Ravens are a good team or not at the moment, because of via quarterback, via injury wise, it's not the same Ravens team, whatever the case may be. Give me that. I'd rather have that, right? Which poses another question that I have for you guys later on in the show. So just stick around. Jose says not having 100 yards receiving wide receiver for a wide or for not having 100 yards receiving yards for a wide receiver is pretty bad though. I get that we have a lot of talent to throw to, but Caleb should have developed a true number one wide receiver already. I think he has. It seems to be Rome. That's the answer, but he needs to break out game 100%. Or did I read that stat wrong? I think what you read was that the Chicago Bears defense probably hasn't given up a 100-yard receiver, passing yard receiver in the last 4 games. I will look into that stat right now to see, but I'm pretty sure one of the Bears probably already cracked the 100-yard receiving in one of these losses. The Vikings were doing this, receiving yards, 68 with DJ Moore. That's game 1. Game 2 against the Lions, it was pretty bad. 128 yards receiving from Roman Dunze against the Lions for game 2. Let's go for game 3. So that's already there. Maybe in the last 4 games. I know there was 100 yards. I think Rome also cracked 100 against the Cowboys too as well. No, it was Luther Burden. Sorry, Luther Burden with 101, who cracked 101 yards against the Cowboys. I knew somebody was there. Against the Raiders, it wasn't a good game. Receiving yards 69, Roma Dunze. Nice. Against the Commanders, receiving yards 67. So the Bears cracked 2 100-yard receivers so far in the last 6 games. Just only cracked it twice, with Rome with one and Luther Burden with the other. But also on the defensive side, they also didn't crack 100 yards in the last 4 games and the 4-game winning streak, right? And you know what? What's crazy is I think this 4-game winning streak that we had, or revert. This 4-2 start that we have with the Bears this year is the same 4-2 start that the Bears had last year before heading to that bye against the Commanders that really derailed our whole entire season. I feel like this 4-2 is completely different because there's no way in there in somewhere after this Ravens game that to where the Bears are going to lose 10 straight. They got the Giants in there, right? They got the Bengals in there, which they look somewhat improved with Joe Flacco in there. Give and take however you want to take that. Joe Flacco's there, right? Obviously, this Ravens is not the same Ravens team, but it's still the Ravens at the end of the day. Like I said, we still got the Giants. We have a very winnable Minnesota Viking game too as well in there too. On the road, but still a very winnable game. The Pittsburgh Steelers, take it however you want to take it. Aaron Rodgers coming back in a different uniform. It may not be the same Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay, but at the end of the day, they're still a formidable AFC North team who's in first place at the moment. However, you feel confident, whether the defense isn't really not that good because of the injuries that they had, it's not really racking up. They just lost Thursday Night Football game against the Bengals, against Joe Flacco, excuse me. So that's one. And then obviously after the Steelers, it does get a tad bit difficult with the Friday night game against the Eagles. The Packers in 2 out of 3 games were in between. You have the Browns in between the 2 Packers game, the 49ers, and the Lions. I'm not saying that the Bears could run off losing another 10 games and then winning the last game of the season against the Lions. I'm not saying that, but in between there are probably 2, 3, maybe 4 winnable games for sure between the Ravens and the Lions and everything else in between. What I'm saying is this 4-2 is different than last year's 4-2 because we know what the 4-2 last year ended up being. Another 10-game losing streak. Another losing streak of double digits in one season. Yes, you beat the Packers. You know, the Bears in 2025 technically are 5-2 instead of 4-2, but that's not how it works. And Jose's right. We haven't had a 4-game winning streak since 2018. The last time in 2018, the Bears went to the playoffs. It was that badass defense, that record numbers or near record numbers from the 85 Bears. Offense sucked at that time too. They were in the bottom 5 in almost all offensive categories. It doesn't have that same vibe, but this vibe is a little bit different, but kind of similar at the same time, if that makes some type of sense. To where the defense is carrying this team, whether this defense is just doing it, it's part of getting us great field position. Whether this defense is turning over the ball, and the offense is not backing up the defense, the offense is not creating chances or taking advantage of the opportunity that the defense are putting us in great field position, and we're just leaving points. We're just leaving points on the board, but it just feels like it's just the switch hasn't turned on yet. And that's where we're at. Like, I feel like the switch is like we flip the switch, but the lights are dimming and they're just kind of like flickering at the point like we're just there right now, to where it's just gonna connect. And I'm okay with that. One of my questions for the night is like, would you prefer to have Caleb Williams to turn on the switch, but the Bears end the season at 7-10? Is that a good season? Or you still want to keep it where the offense is still inconsistent, Caleb Williams is still inconsistent, but the Bears still keep finding ways to progress and get W's and make the playoffs, right? And I think that's the question that we really have to ask ourselves, like, what Bears team do you really, really want? Do you want the Bears team that's very inconsistent on the offense, but defense is showing up, but somehow we're finding ways and make the playoffs? Or you want that team that finally finds that switch, turns on that switch, but because of the schedule that's remaining, and the talent or lack thereof on both sides of the ball that's not there yet, but that they're just a few pieces away to compete. Like, which one do you want? I'd rather have the 7-10 where I'd rather have the 7-10 team missing the playoffs, but I know that we are consistently good. We're consistently getting there. We're in fight games because our offense is getting down the field, getting points. Defense, we know the lack of pressure that they haven't been getting, even though the last games they've been getting some sacks. The lack of pressure that the defensive line has, it's not good enough. Jose said he rather gets the W's. And that's fine too, because we haven't had playoff football in like almost like 5-6 years. So I'm okay with that too. Like, there's no wrong answer, but there's also not a right answer either. Would you rather have a scrappy team where the offense doesn't look good, but you're getting W's, and instead of having a almost well-balanced team, but knowing that the talent is not there, but still competing, but you know what you're gonna have. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm probably wording out the question wrong, but if you understand what I'm trying to say, like, it makes sense. Like, what would you rather have? And I'd rather have the part where the quarterback is getting it, it's understanding it, but because of the schedule, we're 7-10, but what we're expecting for next year. And I'd rather have that. And I've been telling you guys for the past 2 years that I'd rather have my quarterback develop and sacrificing W's for development, because we're desperate for a quarterback. Right now, Caleb Williams is on pace to break every single passing quarterback record from touchdowns to passing yards, even after the stinker that he had on Sunday. He's still on pace to break every single quarterback record that we have on the book, including his. So that says something in a very positive and yet negative way at the same time. Windy City Rundown here on Facebook and on YouTube, guys. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that all that good stuff. Jose says he's going to bed. He says, I'm the GOAT, bro. See you next week. Bears are going to win against the Ravens 17-14. Ooh. Now that's a prediction. That's a prediction. 17-14. Eek. I don't know about 17-14. I don't know how I feel about a 17-14. I mean, I think if we get a 17-14 game, it's going to say a lot more about the Ravens than it is going to say more about the Bears, right? Because of how the Ravens have been playing lately. And even though they haven't had Lamar Jackson for the last 3-4 weeks, it's still going to say a lot more because of the start that they've been having, a 1-5. I think this is a bad week for the Bears. I honestly do. I don't see the Bears winning this at all. I hope that it's somewhat of a semi shootout where the Bears can go toe to toe, but the Ravens just have that just enough talent to take them over the hump and win the game. I see the Bears. I mean, I had this game as a loss from the beginning of the season, anyways. I might as well just keep it consistent and keep it 100, and just say, hey, the Bears are going to lose. I'd rather keep it that way, but give me something. Give me something to be appreciative of. Give me something where Caleb goes for 250 for 2 touchdowns and something like that. Give me that. I'd rather have that. I'll be okay with that and the loss than the game that we just had over the weekend and then the Bears get blown out. Obviously, right? But give me that. Just give me that. We switch over now. Thank you guys. Who's are the Chicago Bears? That's where they are. We still don't know. We'll probably have more. We'll probably have this conversation again next week. See where we're going with this. But yeah, the Chicago Bears. Yeah. It just sucks. It just sucks to be in this predicament about the Chicago Bears because we had so much hype, so much positive attitude, and so much to look forward to for the season. And we're just at the best moment that we have for the Chicago Bears on the 4-game winning streak, there's still a lot of negative to talk about. So it just sucks. But Sulu says, "Go Pack, go." What's up, Sulu? Yeah, no, fuck the Packers. At the end of the day. Yeah, wrapping up this show right now, guys. The bull season starts tomorrow, unfortunately, however you want to take that. Are you excited? Because I'm sure the hell I'm not excited, man. I've been, since we've been doing the JCA Sports Podcast to Windy City Rundown and rebranding and everything like that, you guys know my strong stance of the Chicago Bulls and where I've been at for the last couple of years. I've not been a happy camper. I have not been I guess you can say a very good fan of the Chicago Bulls, but rightfully so, right? They don't give me anything to cheer for. They don't give me anything to be supportive of. They don't give me anything to be excited about. Packers run the North. Sure, I'll give you your time, Sulu. Sure. Still at the end of the day, fuck the Packers. But I haven't been a very happy Bulls fan for the last I don't know 5-6 years. Look, granted, the one time that I've been excited about the Chicago Bulls, even with Alonzo Ball, Zach LaVine being there, was when they traded for Alonzo Ball, when they got DeMar DeRozan coming into the Chicago Bulls, and we had that stretch of exciting basketball from the start of the season in October to January when Alonzo Ball got hurt, and after that, it's just been a derailment. Even before that, I felt like I've been very, very disrespected by the GM of the team at that time, no longer there, but still GarPax telling us that they wanted to go younger, faster, and athletic, and they got me Dwayne Wade and Rajon Rondo. You guys say what you want to say. If Rondo didn't go down in the playoffs, the Bulls might have had made it gotten far that year. I didn't see that happening, but it is what it is. We can't go past it. We can't be living in the past like that. Pissed me off last year. We had literally like a 4 or 5 week show segment, of me trying to find a new NBA team because I was going to use the sports mulligan on the Chicago Bulls because I got tired of the fucking Bulls because they haven't shown me anything to care for. They traded Zach. I gave them 2 options. I gave you the easy way out. They traded away Zach LaVine. I still stayed, but at the end of the day, I just felt like I should have just moved on and just cut my ties loose because they haven't really done anything for me. They haven't really done anything for all of us, and for us to still be. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring you guys along with this, but the truth has to come out one way or another. But the fact that you guys still lollygag around the Chicago Bulls because of whatever the case may be, and now this year the 5-game packet for the Derrick Rose ceremony for him to retire the jersey. Come on now, guys, y'all can't be serious. Like this is what the Chicago Bulls are giving us instead of giving us a good team to cheer, to watch, to pay for on a streaming service, $8.99, whatever the price is for the Chicago to watch the Bulls, Sox, and Blackhawks. Like, y'all can't. Yeah, really. Like, you really want me to spend this amount of money to watch garbage on my TV? Like, no. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I am not gonna waste my time on watching a product that's not even well worth watching. Now, we had this conversation today. Jose sent us a link on TikTok telling us about, like, man, these videos has got me excited about the Chicago Bulls season, even though, like, we know that this team is going to be ass. And I told him, like, bro, like, my takeaway for the Chicago Bulls 2025-2026 season is the fact that this will probably be Billy Donovan's best coaching performance in the Chicago Bulls uniform with this young and up-and-coming squad. And yet the team's still going to be ass. They're going to be very, like, I think what you kind of saw the last month and a half, 2 months of last season with the Chicago Bulls is what you're going to get the Chicago Bulls for 82 games this year. Wherever you want to take that or wherever that gets us at the end of the day, great. But I really do feel like it's still not good enough for me to be excited for. It's still not good enough for me to go and watch, or me and go on Ticketmaster or on StubHub or on whatever place I can get my tickets to go see the Chicago Bulls. It's still not good enough for me to go and waste my money or invest my money on a product that I know it's not going to be good. And at the end of the day, I'm part of that bunch that still keeps the light on it at the United Center, even though the lights went off a couple weeks ago, but still goes and wastes my money and thinking that the Chicago Bulls are good because Jerry Reinsdorf say, hey, look, I got an arena of 22,000 people and I got 20,000. That's almost a full house. Like, that's him winning and kind of like rubbing his hands and be like, haha, suckers. Like, we're all suckers. We're all suckers if we go to Bulls games this year. We're all suckers for every time you pay for the streaming services of $8.99 or whatever the pricing it is. We're all suckers because, yes, we're fans. Yes, we love the Chicago Bulls. I do too. And it hurts that I haven't watched a really good basketball game or just a basketball game with the Chicago Bulls in the last 3, 4, 5 years. I just read, I hear, I watch the highlights, and that's all I do just to be informed. I know that's the worst way to see it, or that's the worst case scenario to put it. But at the end of the day, that's how I feel because this team is not good enough. This team is not worth my time. This team is not worth a headache for me. This team is not worth for me to take away time away from my family and not spend time with my family to watch a hot piece of garbage in the Chicago Bulls. Just my personal take on the Bulls of what I want to see is the fact that this is going to be Billy Donovan's best coaching experience of where he's been at here in the Chicago Bulls or in OKC. He's going to coach these kids hard. And I feel like this is a project that Billy Donovan needs just to be rejuvenated, I guess, and be energized to do so. They're saying a lot of good things about Matas. I'll probably tune into a preseason game just to see whatever we're getting off of Josh Giddey. Cool, great. Whenever we get Kobe White back, all right, cool, great. But then what? Like, we still got Vucevic. Are we going to trade him in the trade deadline? We didn't do it last year. We didn't do it this offseason. Like, WTF? Like, what are we going to do, guys? What are we doing? Not a team that's interesting, not a team that gets my interest, and an owner that doesn't really give a damn, doesn't really give two shits about us anyways. So that's how I see it. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not excited about the Bulls. I might bring back my sports mulligan and just be like, hey, I'm just over with. We might bring back the segment of which team should I pick this year. It should be easy, but I really got to put my time and effort into this because I don't want to hop on the bandwagon of a team that has already won and just being like, oh, I'm just a bandwagon fan. No, I really want to deep dive and do my research on what team I want to pick next. Will I bring that back? I don't know. Depends. Unless if Jerry Reinsdorf decides to sell the team. Not going to happen, but I mean, all I asked was Zach LaVine to get traded last year, and it happened. It kept me. Stupid me, but it kept me. So, but as always, guys, hit the little bell on Facebook and on YouTube just to get notified when our shows are live. Follow us on all our social medias, Windy City Rundown, and all our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Like and subscribe. All our episodes on YouTube. Share our episodes on Facebook just to hopefully get notified. We thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you, Sulu. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Jose. I'll be on the comment section for today. I appreciate you guys' love and support. We'll be here next week, same time, same place at 7:30. Not preview, but give you guys our opinions about the Bears-Ravens game on Sunday. Preview the following week after the Bears go on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals. The World Series it starts on Friday. The Dodgers I say Dodgers in 6. I would love to have the Toronto story, but I think the Dodgers are going to go back to back. I mean, shit. They have Shohei. Shohei's just a damn beast at the end of the day. What can I say? I'm just glad that they swept the shit out of the fucking Brewers. That's all I care about. That's all I'm happy about. They swept the Brewers. Cool. That's what they get for putting up the L flag and just beat the Cubs and then just shit the bed. Just shit the bed against the Brewers in a very important series than the DS and the NLCS. Dodgers in 6. I think that's where it's gonna go. Yeah, they just got the better team. They got the money. They got the power. They got the pitching, the starting pitching. If all the pitchers, Shohei, Blake Snell, Yamamoto, all those guys, if they go 8-9 innings and then they just outrun everybody, I think that's going to be good. But Dodgers in 8, they're going to be the World Series champions. We'll probably talk about the Dodgers next week being World Series champions again, back-to-back seasons of them being World Series champs. Like I said, Bears preview on Sunday. Talk about next Tuesday. Talk about the Bears Ravens. Talk about the Bears Bengals. That following week too as well. We'll talk about the Bulls, see what we like. If we want to pay attention, I know Jose will be down watching the Chicago Bulls. They'll probably have 2 or 3 games in there. That and a lot more here on the Windy City Rundown. For Eric Avila, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Sulu, Tony, everybody else. We will see you next week, same time, same place. See you guys.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
He's running like he's got a lobster down his pants, showing that he is as slippery as a bar of soap.
Like poop through a diarrhea-infected goose.
Commented about it.
That's fine. I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take this serious.
I'm not.
Serious. I put my heart and soul into this every single week.
Are we done here?
It's about time.